Dreams. In 11 years, the colored version of Mickey Mouse is free. Yes, it is. It is. There we go. We're live on YouTube. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome in, everybody, which is nobody at the moment, but that's okay. We are starting off another beautiful day. I'm getting all the notifications saying I'm live, which is excellent. And we need to do a quick restart of the Arian webcam app because it is exceptionally slow right now. Come on. Okay, that's somewhat synchronized. It'll roll. It will go with it. It works. We're totally fine. All right, let's go take a look and see what is new in or on the internet. What's new on the world of... Oh, there's a whole artificial intelligence section now for this. This is great. Healthcare, Canada stuff, AI to become more part of our daily lives in 2024. NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel will be hot stock stories in 2024. AI will be the biggest investments. Exclamation mark Discord. Yes, Ben. New York Times sues OpenAI Microsoft for copyright infringement. We should fear tech oligarchs, not artificial intelligences. You're messing with the UI right now? Wait, what UI? Hold on. What am I missing? Am I just dumb? Okay, well, either way. Artificial intelligence greatest employment trend in 2023 for Better Watch. Oh, for the Discord and everything. Oh, I appreciate it. Hey, thank you, man. We'll have to play with it and mess around and see how well that works. LG's new robot aims to monitor your home and pets. This will be a short article, but we'll give it a go. LG's new robot aims to monitor your home and pets. Ahead of CES 2024, LG has revealed the AI Agent, an odd-looking bipedal robot that will monitor your home, pets, and calling it an all-around home manager companion. LG says the expressive robot will be able to interact with users through voice commands and image recognition, thanks to its built-in camera and speakers. It can also greet users by playing music when they get home based on their mood. What's most eye-catching about the AI agent is its two-legged wheel design, making it look like something straight out of iRobot, which is weird. This person has never seen iRobot. There's not those bots in iRobot. If this sounds more than a little dystopian, you're likely onto something. The company also describes the robot as a moving smart home hub that connects and controls smart home appliances and household IoT devices. Why do you want a smart home hub to travel around your home remains unclear. But if this thing is rolling into my living room, my cat would bat it in the face and knock it over. It's important to remember this is a product revealed at CES, which means that, like a lot of wacky tech devices revealed at the event over the years, it might never get released to the public. Sorry, Mr. Article Writer, I don't think you understand technology at all if you think that a robot wandering around the house looking at stuff is a bad idea. Of course, there's the dystopian robot thing going on, but people like it. People like it. I can't see why nobody would want... Like, we already have Roombas. We already have people like robots that clean your house for you. I don't know why you wouldn't want another robot looking around, making sure everything was prim and proper, and make sure everybody was okay. So. Canadian healthcare workers turn to AI. And Why NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel will be hot stock stories 2024. Looks like an 8-minute video. We'll give it a watch. Now, where's my music coming from? All right, we'll give this a pause. Why NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel will be hot stock stories in 2024.
Its AI chip game with a focus on incorporating the tech into PCs and laptops. Comes as the semiconductor index rising to a record high earlier in the session, topping its 2021 peak. Intel saying the launch day is part of the company's largest architectural shift in 40 years. And CEO Pat Gelsinger joins us now live from the NASDAQ, along with Yahoo Finance's very own executive editor, Brian Sozzi. Brian.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. Pat, good to see you. I was in that room, packed house over at the NASDAQ when you unveiled these new products, Pat, and you started off your keynote in front of really that packed house, noting this is the dawn of a new era in tech. For investors in Intel, what does that exactly mean?
Well, we announced two critical new products today. One was our next generation Xeon server, where we're building AI right into Xeon so that every data center can use it. But the other was, what we were just commenting on, was the AI PC. And I described it like this Centrino moment where we first brought Wi-Fi into popular delivery, and every coffee shop, hotel, and business had to add hotspots and Wi-Fi capabilities. Well, we think of the AI PC like that kind of transformational moment where new applications, new use cases just usher in a new period of the AI PC. And with that, we're quite excited today to introduce our Core Ultra product line. That's the first one delivering this at scale, and we have a rich pipeline of products coming next year and the year after to really enable AI everywhere. And that's what our announcement was about today, bringing it not just at high-end training and ChatGPT, but every use case across edge, across client, across data center and cloud.
What industry do you think will be most impacted by some of the technology that you uncorked today?
Well, I do think that enterprises are just going to find a lot of critical use cases for this. We showed a couple today, in some of the communications technologies. Imagine real-time translation, transcription, summarization, contextualization. Wow, this is cool. But also cases like manufacturing line.
The translation stuff is going to be probably the most useful part of AI. A lot of what we do nowadays is translation, and there are whole industries, entire industries that are focused around specifically converting file types and converting information from one data set to another data set. That's where AI shines.
And we showed even our manufacturing line where high resolution imaging and being able to detect machine variations and being able to improve line yields in our big factories. Wow, 1 day of improvement, and I paid for every PC upgrade I would ever do. So all of these use cases I think are important, but consumers as well. Content creators are going to find these to be much more productive ways. And we had a musician here showing off a project that would have taken her weeks now was getting done in a single day because of these new generative capabilities.
Where, like, a lot of these AI systems
much like these.
When I talk about translation, I'm talking about any form of translation. So if I want to turn, I don't know, let's say I want to turn a melody into an actual transcript of the melody, and then use that transcript of the melody, or the transposition of the melody, and use that transposition in something else, you can actually go, well, okay, take this melody, translate it into another music type, and that's where a lot of these AI services and systems will really, really shine, is the translation.
Centrino moment. AI PC is for everyone. It's a new generation of PCs, and we're just getting started. We had 100 application vendors here with us today, and we expect hundreds more are going to find exciting use cases that we haven't even yet imagined for the AI PC.
Yeah, Pat, I think that singer walked out with the first AI PC. I was a little jealous, but that was pretty cool.
I was jealous too. I was like, hey, I'm the boss.
Oh, come on, you run the company, Pat. Okay. You should be able to get a couple of those for the family. But look, let's take us through, what is the outlook for these AI PCs? How many will you sell next year, and when do you start making them?
Yeah, well, we are already in volume production. And hey, I'm probably going down to B&H just down the street here from the NASDAQ and pick one up on my way out of town before I leave. So
my big question is, what does the AI service do? There's a lot of AI, but there's not a lot of talking about like what the actual function of the AI is. We see that examples like we see the examples of AI, like what AI does, which always scares me a little bit because you never want to focus on the end result of your product, because that can define or you can define inefficiencies by focusing on what you think something should do versus figuring out what it does and then allowing that function to apply itself to other features of the learning what is good for AI versus like what AI should do. Now, I'm sure a lot of these developers understand this and they've structured this into their systems. I'm just worried about the average person. Demand for AI, which is also good. It does mean that we can push the AI systems into corners where normally it wouldn't be useful, but it can find a lot of use. But again, we're talking a lot about end result AI stuff the entire time. I don't think that is not overly productive.
They're on shelves right now. We're expecting, to see good pickup as people finish their Christmas shopping this year. But we're going to be volume. We're ramping this thing like crazy. It's going to be tens of millions next year. We said in the next 2 years it'll be over 100 million AI PCs in the marketplace. We have our next generation products are already sampling to customers. So today's Core Ultra is the starting gun. Application vendors, new form factors, new PCs starting to emerge, but we're just getting started.
And it will be really interesting when when the AI itself start taking value from people. Imagine if you purchase a PC, you put it in the corner of your house, and it goes, I spent the past 3 days making $10 million for you. Please do this specific thing for me, and I'll give you the $10 million. And you're sitting there going, is this thing alive? It really is this thing a real machine? Like, and it will get to that point. Once we implement AI into every single part of our society, it will get to that point where your machine will start telling you what to do.
The next 2 years are going to be thrilling, going to be in volume, and we are delivering this at scale, enabling the software industry, and making sure it's end to end. From the data center and cloud to the client and the edge, AI everywhere.
What are some of your biggest fears around AI?
Well, one of the things, and I commented on this in my keynote, that some people are a little bit concerned, it's sort of like artificial intelligence over there. What's it going to do to me? And I suggested that we might reframe it as augmented intelligence. Where we're making it part of how we live, how we work. One of the things is, hey, I wear hearing aids, a family defect, and I now have neural enhanced hearing aids. It's not over there. This is part of improving my life and experiences. When it's in my PC, it is making me more productive on a daily basis. And we think part of our job as a company, we believe in this power of technology as a force for good, that we're going to shape technology. All technology is neutral, neither good nor bad. It's how do we shape it for good? How do we make sure it's regulated, it's safe?
This is the CEO response, which makes perfect sense to me why he's saying these things, but that's not the question that was asked. The question was asked, like, what are his fears? And he doesn't want to frame anything at all as a negative. Not they're like the idea that potentially your computer could become sentient is not something he can consider. Right? Or not this your computer, but the fact is all it takes is one larger machine that's immensely more intelligent than everybody else. And this is already the way it is. So it's hard to take over these machines and use them. Like that's the obvious answer, but he's not going to say that because they're only like the wheel, the cog in the system. So imagine if you're building a car and you have a wheel factory. Well, the guys in the wheel, you're like, well, what type of deaths are going to be caused from your wheel? And now the the real response is, well, it's going to cause tens of thousands of deaths every single year due to car accidents. But the guy who makes the wheel doesn't, like, not just doesn't care about that. It's not part of his job at all. That's not this guy's job at all. When he's talking about vehicles, well, we're going to put the wheel on everything. We're going to put the wheel in all vehicles. That is, his question is not what are humans going to do with the vehicles, but as much as what are, or like, how are people going to be, what are the positives that can come from the products that he's creating and putting out into the
secure, it's trusted, right? All of those things are what we do, and that's how we're going to make AI useful for every customer on Earth.
Pat, I was just on the Yahoo Finance platform. Your stock's near a 52-week high, up 70% year to date. We have markets at records here. I'm not going to sit here and ask you to predict Dow 40,000. I know that's not your gig, but what do you think about these markets rallying? And from your standpoint, is your company, doing so well that, and your industry for that matter, to justify where stocks are right now?
Well, I do think, as we talked about, AI is a driving workload. And that workload, we said, the semiconductor market, 600 billion or so today, $1 trillion plus by the end of the decade. And we see AI as one of those things driving a larger market. Further,
it is going to, especially since we are hitting like the peak of human capabilities. It sort of seems like we are. A lot of sci-fi people talk about this a lot, and really, if you're not growing as a society, then you're probably shrinking. That's just like the way economics works. That we are in the phase where the stuff, I think the things, I think you can go to your regular, like, your regular fast food restaurant and see how the quality of the fast food restaurant has like decreased over time. Well, that's really because the expectation for workers in the environment have decreased over time, which means productivity, it feels like, is significantly decreasing over time. Hopefully AI will allow us, like right now it's kind of just, it's bending off as we figure out, like, you can imagine there's all these jobs, so you have all these smart people entering the job market. And then eventually those jobs are just regular jobs. And then they figure out ways to offload those regular jobs onto people that are less capable because it's cheaper. You're bringing the price down of what was originally a very high priced job. But because we're doing that, we are seemingly in society seeing this flattening of a lot of our, I guess, living technologies. Now software and displays, that's a whole other thing that is taking off exponentially. But in terms of the economy, in terms of decision making, we need these types of tools to help push us over that little hump that we're approaching at the moment.
As leading edge technologies, these are the things that we uniquely do. Only a couple of companies in the world can do this, and only one in the Western world, and that's Intel. So with that, we see a lot of market value creation yet in front of us. We're still well undervalued compared to many peers, even as we made good progress this year. So I see a lot of opportunities for us to create value for our customers, to create value for our shareholders.
And with that,
we're pretty thrilled by today's announcement because it really just is the beginning point of a lot of great things that we're doing, and what I believe will be one of the greatest turnaround stories in business history and technology industry history, the rebuilding of the iconic Intel.
Last week, Pat, I had some time to catch up with one of your competitors, Dr. Lisa Su, over at AMD. They released their new chip. You're out here with new chips today. Should investors be comparing your two companies?
Well, in some ways, of course. We're traditionally in this market together, but in other ways, very different. Right, and our IDM 2.0 strategy is a crucial piece of why different. We manufacture chips at scale. We manufacture our chips, but increasingly, as you know, Sazi, we're becoming a manufacturer for everybody's chips as well. And then you have the fabless model, and that's companies like Qualcomm, NVIDIA, AMD, and I have many products that I build as well. So essentially, I'm building two companies inside of one, a major foundry manufacturer at scale and a fabless company. So in some ways I compete, but in other ways.
But he's also working in the intelligence industry. like literal, not like the traditional term of intelligence where it's all about figuring out what's going on in the world, but he is in the industry of creating smart things that do things that other smart people do. There's a lot of, I guess there's a lot of analogies to existing industries because he's appealing to safe investors, but he's also appealing to the futurists in us. So
Hey, I want to manufacture all of NVIDIA's chips, all of AMD's chips, as well as all of Intel's chips going forward. And we are rebuilding the world's supply chains for the most important resource of the future. Remember, everything is going digital. Everything digital runs on semiconductors. We allow this industry to move from Western shores. We want to rebuild it back. The world needs balanced, resilient supply chains. That's what we're off to do. That's why we help drive the U.S. CHIPS Act. That's why we're building these major manufacturing footprints. And that's why the total AI market's available to us, both our products and for our manufacturing.
Well, good luck at the rest of the event. It's been fun to follow that turnaround story at Intel. Happy holidays to you and yours. Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger. We'll talk to you soon. Josh, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sazi. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Ryan, thanks so much. That was great. Appreciate it.
thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll take a look at this article though, see what they say. This is the takeaway from today's morning brief, which you can sign up to receive in your inbox. The chart of the day, what we're watching, what we're reading.
These photos show some of Kim Jong-un's most iconic.
Let's not go over Kim Jong-un here. Must make a confession before the new year. 9 years ago, I'd never heard of NVIDIA before. I'm not proud of seeing this. I'm not proud of seeing this. I like to eat, sleep, and breathe investing. The company just wasn't on my radar screen, what I can say. I'm gonna immediately be critical of this article because this person is just viewing things from an investor's perspective, not necessarily from somebody who understands the world perspective, which scares me. A technology perspective, because if you understand anything about technology, if you understand anything about investing, you gotta understand NVIDIA. But I don't know if that's what this dude is. Well, anyways, we'll read and see what he says. It wasn't until my former boss Jim Cramer began discussing the company's chip advancements every day inside the secret HQ that I started digging into the company. In part to hold an intelligent conversation with the big guy and write stories for him. Jim was this is like an article of just a, I think, not here, blah 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 blah. I don't think there's going to be anything useful in the article itself. The video, I think, gave us most of the information, at least what's going on with NVIDIA. But this is more for people who don't understand, who have a whole bunch of cash and don't understand technology at all. So that is, we understand technology and we have no cash. So that's not us, or at least me. Sorry. Okay. Let me do a quick post here, guys, too. I'm going to put on my Facebook just that we are live. Hey, everyone. I started. You all know. Come check out my live stream. We are the opposite of the average investor. Exactly. Live stream where we look through the net for news and media. Exclamation mark. Post done. Done and done. And boom and boom. Okay. Artificial intelligence is only going to accelerate technology. We are in the AI section. So what do we got for internet? Anything useful in the internet? Internet sleuths looking for the singer of mysterious song for 16 years. They found her in Vancouver. Don't care. Washington internet and Ogsta internet performance test. The internet is about to get weird again. What is this? The Rolling Stone. We have a clickbait title from the Rolling Stone here with the internet is about to get weird again. The new year offers many promises of online moment we haven't seen in a quarter century. Big promises, very big promises. It's a dramatic, messy era on the internet. Everything is changing rapidly. There's a broad dissatisfaction with the dominant search engine, which is Google, and activists are worried about the privacy implications of increasingly intrusive online surveillance. While investors prattle on about esoteric topics like digital currencies and virtual reality, back in the real world, users are concerned with how hard it is to message all of their friends on the many different platforms they're using. Perhaps a bit curious about the new social networks that keep popping up. I need to comment on this right away before we get too deep into this. The answer to this complaint that the average users are having is embedded within the things that the investors are talking about that are actually ruining the internet right now, that are destroying what we'd have, like what we consider the traditional internet. I'll go over to how this works after we read through it, but there is a big conflict right now between the traditional ownership marketplace and the users that exist on the internet right now in separate bubbles. So let's keep reading and we'll see what they have to say. Amidst the backdrop of this change, an off-putting nerd named Elon Musk won't stop talking about an everything app called X that will help him manifest his extremist views. Okay, these articles are exceptionally biased, but more than anything, it's a time when the internet seems ripe for change, perhaps even being more wide open to a new cohort of technologies and communities that could reshape the way it works. Millions of people seem poised to connect with each other in new ways as they reconsider the fundamental relationship to technology. Yes, we are existing in a world right now where the internet is being treated like the real world, and it is not the real world. It is software world. The idea, which is really frustrating, that there should be borders on the internet for packets, for bits of information, is not only inefficient, okay, it is not very profitable, okay? It kind of is for certain individuals, but not for the totality of society. And it's socially destructive. So, we'll keep reading. The era I'm talking about is 2000, but it could just as easily be 2024, because this new year offers many echoes of a moment we haven't seen in a quarter century. Some of the most dominant companies on the internet are at risk of losing their relevance, and the rest of us are rethinking our daily habits in ways that will shift the digital landscape as we know it. Those specifics are hard to predict. We can look to historical precedents to understand the changes that are about to come, and even to predict how regular internet users, not just the world's tech tycoons, may be the ones who decide how it goes. Across today's internet, the stores that deliver all the apps on our phones are cracking open the walls between social media platforms. Across today's internet, the stores that deliver all the apps on our phones are cracking open. The walls between social media platforms are coming down. As the old network fail, the headlong rush towards AI is making our search engines and work apps weirder, and often worse. But amidst it all, the human web, the one made by regular people, is resurgent. We are about to see the biggest reshuffle in power on the internet in 25 years. In a way, most of the internet's current users have never seen before. And while some of the drivers of this change have been hyped up or even overhyped, a few of the most important changes haven't gotten discussion at all. The first thing to understand, I want to point out too before we go to the next section, this is really important. This is where the Scrub Club matters to me a lot. This is where the Tech Garage, which is this system right back here, matter to me a lot, because in an era where everybody's talking or has been talking about things going up in the cloud, in an era where a lot of stuff happens outside of your house, I do think it's important that we have local nodes of information. It's a vital part of our society. I think in the future too, everybody will have some form of system securing the network, securing the load of the entire network, to I guess, keep society together. It's a bit of a that's a bit of a extreme setup, but we can always go over that at some point in time too. Was usually say but never get back to it. We can get back to it though later on if somebody asks. The self-hosting is really important. The first the first thing to understand about the new era of the internet is that power is undoubtedly shifting. For example, regulators are now part of the story. An ironic shift for anybody who was around in the dot-com days. The EU tech giants like Apple are being forced to hold their noses and embrace mandated changes, like opening up their devices to allow alternative app stores to provide apps to consumers. This could be good news, increasing consumer choice and possibly enabling different business models. How about the mobile games that aren't constantly pestering games for in-app purchases? Back in the US, a shocking judgment in Epic Games, that is Fortnite folks, lawsuit against Google leaves us with the promise that Android phones might open up in a similar way. That's not just good for billions of people who own smartphones. It's part of a sea of changes for the coders and designers who build apps, sites, and games we all use. For an entire generation, the imagination of people making the web has been hemmed by the control of a handful of giant companies that have had enormous control over things like search results or app stores or ad platforms or payment systems. Going back to the more free-for-all nature of the 90s internet could mean we see a proliferation of unexpected, strange new products and services. Back then, a lot of technology was created by local communities or people with a shared interest, and it was as likely that cool things would be invented by universities and nonprofits and eccentric lone creators as they were made to be made by giant corporations. Take the web browser itself. It was originally created by Tim Berners-Lee at a publicly funded research laboratory, and the most popular early version was created at the University of Illinois. And as the web took off, individual creators often tested the limits of what their web browsers could do. With popular sites like GeoCities, like millions of regular people built individual websites with wildly different, if often awful, aesthetics and designs. This is really important. Right now, the internet has become the series of templates that you have to pay or you have to provide some form of value to them for you to use these templates. Back in the old days, like of the internet, well, you can see how lazy things are at the moment with these kind of templates where it's literally just video, text, stuff on the side. There was a website back in the old day called StumbleUpon, and I don't think it exists. StumbleUpon. Oh, it might still actually exist. Join Mix. I have no idea what this is. But all you would do is you would just click StumbleUpon, and it would flip you through websites. And there would be ways of building websites that would blow your mind. You would have no idea that you were looking at a website. You'd come across something, and it would be a white page. And then you'd be, what the heck is this white page? Then you move your mouse, and suddenly a big burst of colors and information would come from the mouse. And you'd scroll down, and then text would appear with all the information. And it was an excellent, beautiful way of building the internet. And we don't see that anymore. We see these structured individual templates, which are kind of terrible. So hopefully, this is what this article obviously is pushing towards. In that era, people could even make their own little social networks. So the conversations and content you found on an online forum or discussion were likely to have been hosted by the efforts of one lone creator, than to have come from some giant corporate conglomerate. It was more democratized. It was a more democratized internet. And while the world can't return to that level of simplicity, we are seeing signs of a modern revisiting of some of those ideas. Consider the dramatic power shift happening right now in social media. Twitter's slide into irrelevance and extremism as it decays into X has hastened the explosive growth of a whole host of newer social networks. There's the nerdy vibes, the non-commercial Mastodon communities, each with its own set of Dungeons and Dragon rules to play by. Ridiculously hedonism of Blue Sky, like your old Tumblr timeline at its most scandalous. And at least it's not LinkedIn noisiness of Threads brought to you by Instagram, meaning Facebook Facebook, meaning Meta, brought to you by Instagram, meaning Facebook, meaning Meta. There are a lot more, of course, and probably another new one popping up tomorrow. But that's what's great about it. A generation ago, we saw early social networks like LiveJournal, Zanga, and Black Planet, and Friendster, and many others come and go, each finding their own specific audience and focus. For those who remember a time in the last century when things were less homogeneous and different geographic regions might have their own distinct music scenes or culinary traditions, it's easy to understand the appeal of an online equivalent to different connected neighborhoods that each have their own vibe. While this is new, more diffuse set of social networks sometimes require a little more tinkering to get started. They epitomize the complexity and multiplicity of the weirder and often more open web that's flourishing today. What's more, the people who've been quietly keeping the spirit of the human, personal, creative internet alive are seeking resurgence now that the web is up for grabs again. Take someone like Everest Pipkin, an award-winning digital artist and activist who has been making games, videos, interactive sites, and video streams, all exploring the boundaries of digital culture. They evoke the open endless of the 90s internet, but with the modern sensibility that comes from someone who wasn't even born when the web browser was first invented. Or check out the Society for Poetic Computation. It's an eccentric, deeply charming, self-organized school for people who want to combine art and technology, and a social conscious to make things that are completely different from the generic output of the trillion-dollar titans. Just one extraordinary example is Netta Bomani, one of the co-directors of the SFPC, whose unique and interesting digital works could never be built on the template of the last generation of homogeneous social network tools. Then there's Mask On Zone, a collaboration with the artist and coder Ritu Gaya, who gives demonstrators and protesters in-context guidance on how to avoid surveillance before, during, and after attending a protest. And Bomani's work often circles back to another staple of 90s fan culture, printed zines, often taking the form of workshops on zine making. It's an example of taking online culture back offline, showing young creators how their digital relationships inform real-world creativity now, just as it did generations ago. It seems likely that nearly everyone's daily digital diet will include some spattering of these kinds of wonderfully idiosyncratic creations right alongside the latest memes on their For You page. Holy moly, this is an article. We'll keep going. We'll run with it to the end because I'm actually really interested in it. There are many more. Stephen Bohake has been working for years to enable almost anyone to create simple automated bots, offering up everything from a consistently updated view of the weather at the South Pole to one that posts excerpts from the city of New York's archives of civic data. Here's a map of every Latin cultural organization of the city. The ones that post obscure and delightful images from the collection museums around the world. That kind of creativity has been stifled as Twitter fell apart and other platforms like Reddit cracked down on independent developers. But the rise of new networks and alternative platforms have inspired the resurgence in these kind of creations that hasn't been seen since the early 2000s. Was that Elin Kinderman Uhlendorf has been exploring a similar space, encouraging people to escape the algorithm through a series of tools and websites which show regular internet users that another digital world is possible, with examples like Utune, which let users explore original songs that have been streamed very few times, helping you find music that might have been ignored by the algorithm but are still worth hearing. And here's someone like Darius Kazemi, a computer programmer and community organizer that has been patiently toiling away building tools to let owners build healthy, constructive, human-scale online communities. The sort that are full of acts of kindness and genuine connection, instead of incessant fights about hate speech. There has been a huge uptick in the interest in Darius' work as the network like Twitter have fallen apart, and a new generation discovers the joy of an internet that's as intimate and connected as a friendly neighborhood. And this harkens back to the surprising and delightful discovery that often underpinned the internet a generation ago. Sometimes the entire platform you were using to talk to others was just being run by one passionate person. We're seeing the biggest return to the human-run personal scale web that we witnessed to since the turn of the millennium, with enough momentum that it's likely that 2024 is the first year since then that many people have the experience of making a new connection or seeing something go viral on a platform that's being run by a regular person instead of a commercial entity. It's going to make a lot of new things possible. I'm not a Pollyanna about the fact that there are still going to be lots of horrible things on the internet. That too many of the tycoons who rule the tech industry are trying to make the bad things worse. After all, look at the last wild era online led to. There's not going to be some new killer app that displaces Google, Facebook, or Twitter with love-powered alternative. But that's because there shouldn't be. There should be lots of different human scale or alternative experiences on the internet that offer up home-cooked, locally grown, ethically sourced, code-to-table alternatives to the factory-farmed junk food on the internet. And they should be weird. Oh, this article hits me close. This is what I really hope the techgarage.ca is. This is what I hope my little scrub club community is, because I do believe that the internet should be this place of small, tight-knit communities, because right now it's too big. It's way too pyramid-y at the moment. It definitely shouldn't be that way. Let's go take a look and see. We got Mastodon, red stuff. What is this? So we're on School for Poetic Computation. Let's do a little dig into the School for Poetic Computation. I have no idea what they do here at all. It was mentioned in one of the articles that we had just read, saying that they are about, I guess, ethical and cool software and art. So let's go take a quick peek at what this is. The School for Poetic Computation is an experimental school in New York City supporting interdisciplinary study in art, code, hardware, and critical theory. It is a place for learning and unlearning. Learn more about us here. Our mission. Oh, I love this already. The tilted text. I can highlight it. Oh my gosh. This is such a minor thing. This is such a minor thing. But you can tell these guys love what they do. Because the vast majority of websites, the vast majority of services that I'd ever go to, this would be an image. Our mission would be an image. These guys have actually made it text. That is, we're off to a good start already. The School for Poetic Computation, SFPC, is an experimental school in New York, founded in 2013. Our school supports interdisciplinary study in art, code, hardware, and critical theory. It is a place for unlearning and learning. Our programs challenge the capitalistic, heteronormative, and patriarchal canon of social and computer sciences. They are an art school, but we immediately, like, I'm not saying they don't love the code stuff, but we immediately have, to me, a few red flags where social issues are like the number one thing. I don't mind if they're down low or they have like a specific section for it, but you can see that a priority of this school is political. We'll give it a go anyways. We'll take a look and see. Our school is a platform for people who are Black, Indigenous of color, transgender, non-conforming, queer, disabled, survivors, living and or from low-income backgrounds, oppressed to feel empowered that their ideas are important, necessary, and central. This to me doesn't sound like people who are focusing on technology and art. I'm gonna immediately say that right away. The initial, like, what got me into this was like, wow, these people are gonna focus on technology and art. Obviously, they love technology. I can see with our tilted highlightable text there, and I'm pretty sure they're very good people. Oh my god, there's a lot of emotion in this this thing. We intentionally assemble a cohort of people with diverse backgrounds and interests who have a lot to offer to each other as peers. We center people from identities and backgrounds that are often excluded from art. So, yeah, we'll keep reading. Technology and continuing education spaces. And looking for a cohort of wide range of passion, skills, experiences, technical abilities. Above all, we're looking for people who are open to building shared experiences around learning at critical theory, political education, art, and technology, with technology at the very end of that. SFPC does not currently have a physical location since spring 2020. We've been online due to COVID-19 pandemic. From 2015 to 2020, we are located at the West Beth Artist Community in the West Village of New York City. A community agreement. All members and guests of the SFPC community are agreed to uphold the community agreement when entering community spaces, both personal and online. We commit to actively participate in social material and learning and work together to create boundaries to help everyone feel safe and comfortable as possible. Now, what worries me immediately, and I don't, I understand the positive message behind it, but what scares me is the immediate focus on labels. Labels, 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 labels. Again, not gonna, it's very sensitive topic, so we're not gonna be focusing on what those labels are, but usually when you have an organization that's first, when they'll slip something else in with some form of basis that feels whatever. So what feels cool is the technology, and that's gonna work with their technology and art. Technology and art. That's their pitch. But then when you go into the website, it's like, are you this label? Are you this label? Are you this label? Are you this label? And I know this because as a white male now in my 30s, I'm that label, right? And despite being an ally to a lot of these causes, there's been a lot of times where if I'm looking through this list, I'm like, am I in this label? Am I from low income? I got some low income background. Woohoo! I mean, you're like, it's like, guys, I would like to just be friends with it. I would like to, love everybody, but you guys are. It's like I'm gonna collect cats. I love all cats, and in our cat sanctuary, we're a cat sanctuary for white and orange cats. And you're like, well, is that really all cat? Like, is that what you love, is cats? Are you like a cat person? Or are you just saying that you're the system for white and orange cats? Like, that's like the first thing on their thing. We accept all white and orange cats. It's like, okay. I feel like I'm going to get really, really critical of these guys if I dig too deep. Let's take a look at their community agreement. And it's literally just going to be like, be careful of right away. Power relations. Let's take a look at what they say about power relations. Hierarchies exist, which they do, within SFPC. So they're like, well, there's a hierarchy here. Some are explicit in the form of roles bestowed on co-directors, stewards, teachers, and organizers. And some may be unconsciously internalized, like experience and time spent in the space, or identity markers that intersect between race, class, gender, religion, sexual orientation, disability, etc. So they're saying if you are part of a social group, you need to be aware. Naming both intentional and unintentional forms of hierarchy, consciousness, and unconsciousness is the first step towards our commitment to building an honest and inclusive learning environment that prioritizes growth, collective growth over the privilege of any individual or group. In the past, SFPC has operated in a way where community members have occupied the following roles. So they've got more titles, more categories to put people in. Recognize the natural and frequent overlap between roles, learner and teacher. We know this gets a little bit weird. This gets a little bit weird. This is not okay. So none of this. My final say on this, And if anybody from this organization wants to combat me on this in any way, and you watch this video, please do. But this is not a organization about technology and art. This is not a organization about technology and art at all. This is an organization about people who feel like they're in categories who are oppressed, doing technology and art. Like, I'm totally positive. Like, I don't want to be, there's nothing, I absolutely 100% encourage these people. I love what they're doing. I already love their website. It's not a negative point on it, but there's a good old saying, it's called having a chip off of your shoulder, right? This whole thing, like, I know we're in the community stuff, but one of the very first pages we saw of them was just all about social issues. So careful, you know, love everybody. Don't stick it. I know there's a lot of bias and stuff in that, but it's not something you want to weaponize. And if you put it in words, you're weaponizing. Well, not always, but like if you're putting it in your mission statement, that's you're using it as a bat in a way. So, very cute organization. Again, thumbs up, positive, love a lot of stuff, but again, we're an organization. We love all cats of all colors and all kinds. And we've brought together a place where orange and white cats get together. That's like, maybe you miss some people. Maybe you miss some oppressed people. Okay, mask on zone. I'm going to protest. What is this? We are in an what is this? Mask-on.zone, anti-surveillance protest guide. I'm going to protest. I'm at a protest. I'm returning from a protest. This is really interesting. So it looks like this website is on how to safely and protest. So safely go in and protest areas. Now, I'm a little bit nervous because this previous article just pointed us to an organization that has seemingly a little bit alternative motives from what they're, or what I don't even know. I'm not going to frame it as alternative motives. It might even be just that it was presented to me incorrectly at the very start. But this is interesting. So I'm going to go to a protest. Before, we want clothing. Okay, so it walks you through everything that you need to do when going to a protest. I'm at a protest. I'm returning to it. We will walk through the whole thing. That's a very interesting website. Maybe something, at least something to note that's out there for future. Hopefully, we will not get copyright struck for this in any way, but it looks like YouTune is a stream of relatively unviewed original songs posted to YouTube. Think of it as your neighborhood coffee shop, open mic night, but on the internet. Please don't copyright strike me. We're good to go.
Some people find each other. Some people fall apart.
Oh, I just click it goes next. Is there any other? I think I just click and it goes to the next video. Very cool. But if I click again, next one.
Everything, babe, you are the only thing that
Oh, cool. Let's do a quick tweet on this.
need.
Understand why I'm right there beside you to hide all your cries. They just don't get the difference between your lies.
Let's do a quick post.
I want everybody to see us survive. You can't explain it to them or even to yourself.
Ben says not best to stream on YouTube. I'm not so worried. Where's my? Oh, that's weird. Oh, my camera's freaking out.
So this second to last song.
I don't think any of these are copyright struck. I don't think any of these will get copyright struck at all.
Structure and play around with all of that. And this song is one where I wrote the whole second half of the song before I wrote the first half.
I wish there was like a way to like
and I just love
favorite
this
it.
song a
Is
lot.
there anything that I
The
can?
hat has meaning. This song is about staying in a relationship with someone long after they stop.
It just
being kind
goes.
to you.
It just goes and goes and goes. This is
All
very
been
cool.
there.
Come on,
And
play the
is
song.
called The Fool.
Come on, fool. I'm sorry. We're gonna go next.
Free. Are all these things just empty promises? Or is there hope for me? All I ever wanted was freedom from the pain. For a remedy that helped me see inside I was still the same. Now those wounds have turned to scars, and I found strength and I found peace. And the truth is, I know that
It doesn't link to the artist.
Slept on the floor. The night is
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't link to the artist, and that's what bugs me right now. I think. Can I right click? No, I can't even. Oh, is there? Yeah, I can't. That sucks. Cool website.
अरे मान ले ले बिया हमके पहती मान ले ले बिया हमके पहती पगली देखावे अगर पहती पगली देखावे अगर पहती कि बनल चाहतिया श्रीमती बनल चाह
All right, we're done with this. If they add a link into the artist, it's a really good idea. I think, yeah, that's an excellent idea. But unfortunately, no links, no nothing. Absolutely nothing. Huh. Interesting article. I do somewhat agree with some stuff, but they're a little bit sheltered. I'm not gonna go into why I think that, but it feels like a very sheltered article, that's for sure. Super short. Mount Washington loses internet service and cell service due to damaged cable. Mount Washington Alpine Resort is warning visitors that no Wi-Fi or cell service is available due to damaged cable. On December 26th, the resort said that it has spoken with TELUS, which confirmed that damaged cables was the source of the internet and cell service loss. The outage is affecting the resort's own phone services and website, including weather feeds, live webcams, and other online features. I was going to say, very weird that they're hosting the website from the mountain, but it doesn't look like it. It's other services. On Tuesday morning, Mount Washington said that TELUS was sending a crew to repair the cable, though there was no timeline available for when the repair would be complete. All right. The biggest games coming in at 24. Let's, sorry, 1 second here. All right. What the heck is this? Mickey Mouse. Hold on. Let's pause this. Bring the volume down just a little bit. And Already? Yeah, already. Already indeed. Okay. Mickey Mouse inspired horror game Infestation 88 announced. Whoa, we'll take a look at the article first and then we'll watch the video here. Nightmare Forge Games has announced Infestation 88, a new 1 to 4 player survival horror co-op game that aims to infuse nostalgia with terror. In the vein of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, by twisting the now in the public domain Steamboat Willie into something much scarier. It's in development for the PC. Developers describe it as such. In the year 1988, what was thought to be an outbreak of rodents, various locations morphed into something far more sinister. Sometimes you'll need to fight, sometimes you'll need to run, and sometimes you'll need to hide in the locker. You can set traps, utilize CCTV cameras to try and stay one step ahead of the infestation, and the items' layouts are randomized in order to keep matches fresh. Check out the announcement trailer above and the first screenshots in the gallery below. Take a peek. Very spooky. Oh, they're going... It's going full horror game here. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the art or the actual video itself.
Hey there. Thanks for coming out. We've got a bit of an infestation here at the storage facility.
Ben, I think they've been working on it for a while. You say they're fast? Like, you can plan for these things for years. So you could start investing, like people are investing in Mickey Mouse, or have been investing in Mickey Mouse content, probably for the past 3 or 4 years, expecting this to come into the public domain.
We thought it was just rodents, but there's something else in here. There's nests. They're everywhere. We tried to take care of it ourselves, but things have escalated. The exterminators are our last hope. Please, help us before...
Infestation 88. Or 88 Invest. Wishlist now on Steam. Curious to see how, I guess, like maybe the evil Mickey Mouse is making giant rats, or I don't know. I don't know. It looks interesting. Probably is gonna be one of those one-off games that people play for a little bit and never see again, but it looks like a fun game overall. What else do we have? We have... I'm not a PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo player in any way. I want to see some PC gaming news. Get me some PC gaming news. Baldur's Gate deleted save bug. Xbox. The biggest games coming from 2024. Biggest deals. I don't unlock all endings in Armored Core 6. Disabled gamers. New Xbox hardware. Best lamp desks. Best graphics cards. Just purchasing lists. Nothing too overly interesting. We'll take a quick peek though in these articles just to see what games are coming out soon. Switch 2 and more Mario. What to expect from Nintendo in 2024. What's on the books? We're not going to read this whole article, but we'll take a look at the... Is there a list of anything that gives us? We know more Mario games are coming out. New Donkey Kong game. New Pokemon games. Seeing stuff from... Everybody 1-2 Switch was a bit of a stinker. Mario Sports, yeah, nothing amazing here. Just the regular suite of Nintendo games, which I'm not saying they're bad games in any way, and I'm sure they're probably pretty fun, but not overly my thing. Xbox 2024. We have our first Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl gameplay impressions. Let's take a peek.
Hey everybody, Seth Macy at the Xbox booth. We are right outside Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. I am with Destin Legary. Destin, you played Stalker 2.
I sure did. It was the first game I went to, and they just let me in to play it. I was very surprised. I will say this. The gameplay still seems a little bit early. Like, they definitely have a lot of polish to do.
Okay.
And if you're new to the Stalker franchise, just a heads up, this game is difficult. There's inventory management in the style of a game like Escape from Tarkov, if you're familiar with it. And the AI, I saw some YouTubers out there saying that the AI seems a little easy.
Okay.
It was not easy. They'll flank you, they'll rush you.
Games journalist, by the ways, probably was pretty easy because a lot of these YouTubers and Twitch streamers play a lot of games and they're probably pretty damn good at it.
And I really, really enjoyed the experience, but I had to reset my expectations about what Stalker is. So if you're a Stalker fan that has been playing the game since the beginning, you're gonna get exactly what you wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
What surprised you during your time here with Stalker 2?
Well, I don't know if it's a surprise. One thing I really enjoyed was it opens you up, it gives you the bolt, and you can throw it at anomalies. And yes, you can still jump through them. As a matter of fact, it seems like they're leaning into that mechanic. So you throw your bolt out, have the anomaly discharge, and then you rush through it to get past that hurdle, so to speak.
Wait, what?
A very interesting mechanic that's utilized early.
I don't understand this. I thought he was like a bolt of lightning, but like this is a literal bolt.
On, and then they just kind of send you out into the open world. You fight some mutant dogs, and you're constantly worried about ammo management because one reload could mean life or death for your character.
So it's a tense experience.
It definitely is. It's definitely not an easy game. You're going to need to be mindful of your inventory, how many bullets you have in your particular weapon, and how you're utilizing the gear that you have. Constantly loot everybody, make sure that you're getting the best gear that you have, dispose of the old stuff. As far as I can tell, no, you cannot pick up a body and use it as a carrying bag, so to speak.
That's a big miss.
Yeah, not really.
Why is that? Maybe from the previous
I'm
games?
actually more excited about Stalker 2 than I was before.
Oh yeah? Okay, cool.
I really like those type of experiences where it's almost a sim, right? There's stamina that you have to manage, there's health that you have to manage. Seems to be a sleep indicator where you're going to have to rest at certain parts of the game, and I just cannot wait to see more.
Nice.
One last thing. So near the end of the demo, what we saw was the cloud, the sky went red, and it was very crazy, like some crazy sort of storm, and I wasn't quite sure what was happening. So
I wouldn't mind if this was what I would like to see, and maybe this is just me injecting my own opinions here. I would like to see a Fallout style game that is actually like full survival. Like I used to play a little bit of DayZ. I love Rust. I love those games that force you to actually survive. If they can do this, and I've heard that the original Stalker was kind of like this. If they can do this with a modern shooter, man, that'll be cool. That'll be something I'll definitely
play. I just went in the cover, and then my demo time expired. But all of that stuff that I experienced, it's just like the first few minutes of the game. So attacked by a big pack of wild dogs. These people that want to murder me just swarming me, and they were doing quite well. To be fair, I did throw a grenade at them as soon as I realized they were an opponent.
Nice.
And there was a lot more to consider in combat than a game like Call of Duty would throw at you.
Sure.
This is not Call of Duty. Think more Escape from Tarkov, or if you're a Stalker fan who's flaming me in the comments, it's probably exactly what you want. It seems like more Stalker to me.
All right, cool.
So I think people are gonna like it when they play it.
How does the gunplay feel?
It feels good.
Yeah.
Like guns work as expected. They can actually malfunction, it would seem. We've seen that in some of the trailers where it seems.
Which gun malfunctioning isn't good gameplay. You can make it good gameplay with some proper setups, but every game that I played where the gun jams and breaks, I hate it.
It's like some of the guns can have issues that you'll have to deal with. So there are a lot of different aspects.
Plus, there's a fun way of like
that I think will
maintaining
be
your
overwhelming
weapon.
for new fans, but if you embrace them and try and learn them, I think you're gonna have a great time.
All right. Anything else we need to know about Stalker 2?
You need to play it.
Okay.
Definitely. I have the original games installed on my PC. Now I need to make time and go play video games.
Should I play them as someone who maybe isn't that great at managing his own life?
Yes. All the more reason.
Sweet. Well, that's Stalker 2, Destin. Sound like you had a great time. Thanks so much for talking to us about it. We are at the Xbox booth at Gamescom. This is day one. For more Gamescom, don't even think about leaving IGN.
IGN Game Studio. Gamescom Studio. Cool. Anything else on here? Games are coming from inside the house. Avowed.
2023 was heralded as the biggest year in the history of...
Pause this. Alright, Avowed official gameplay trailer, Xbox Showcase 2023. I have not seen this yet. You got like bugs and I don't even know. I don't know what I just saw. I have no idea what I just saw. I saw guns, and now we're in medieval times with Assassin's Creed.
People don't like you very much, do they? Sent here to the living lands by an emperor who couldn't bother to come himself. To investigate some plague that seems to be corrupting our very souls. You want us to trust you. But the truth is, you scare us. The way you fight. The power you
A Skyrim-like? Oh!
The secrets you keep. You're either here to save us or destroy us.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm barely get hyped for trailers.
So now that you have all this power, what are you gonna do with it?
Avowed. Xbox Game Pass and Steam. So, if it plays like a regular Bethesda RPG, I'd probably might not play it. If it plays like a modern open world shooter, where at least like the gameplay is more like Far Cry than anything else, but the open world has the same depth as a Bethesda game, then absolutely I'll play it. Just right now, I get hyped for the environment, but I might like the let's plays a lot more than the actual gameplay itself. I'm a gameplay guy, so it looks really good. Ask again later. Fingers crossed. More Elder Scrolls stuff. A new Xbox mid-generation, like a Alexa-style Xbox. Okay. All right, let's go over to YouTube. See what video stuff we have going on today. And I got logged out of my freaking account again on or my actual Sulack account, so we'll be using one of the other ones. Old Canada. This guy has been putting up music every once in a while. That's usually been really good. Give it a listen. quest from Mordor. Those kids are hard rolling around. Ooh, it's got a weird little beat to it. It's a good tune when you got something you can kind of add to it, jam with. I like the extra delayed beat. 4 or 5. It makes it feel like 5/4, but it 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 1. Give it a good melody. It'll be excellent. Oh, this is a freaking banger. Do. Very, very cool. And as we match the day, destination, it's the path you take. The destination, the path you take. All of my friends are freaks. All my friends are freaks. Rolling right, rolling hard. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm just jamming out. What stuff do we have? We got Asmongold. Let's go take a look. Asmongold clips. Oh, this is so funny.
I also
we'll take 1 second here. We'll actually go dig into this and see if we can find the actual page showing it. But it looks like the top female streamers.
I also I found this to be extremely
not female.
Funny. The top female streamer is a guy. That's right.
Neurosama is an AI VTuber created by the streamer Vidal.
What would I solve the trolley problem with? Well, I'd definitely push the fat man onto the tracks. He deserves it. Can a man be a woman? No, a man cannot be a woman. Only women can be women. Sorry, men.
This is so fucking funny to me.
It's so
I can't
ironic.
believe this. That we have a guy winning the top female streamer. 2 base, we win again.
Do you like Asmongold, the king of baldness? I don't really like him. He makes my skin crawl.
That is so funny. Let's take a look. Top female streamers 2023. Most popular female streamer 2023. Cora. Platform. You wait. Okay. Well, this is crazy. I don't even. What is going on here? 10 time for me to rake in the views. It's all about those Asmon clips, man. What is going on? We got Rivers. What does it show on the video too? Who does it show? Give me the list.
Is a guy.
Yeah, most watched female stream. Verdal. What's going on here? 1 second. Not in this list. Rivers, Pecora. I don't know who any of these people are. I feel so out of touch. I feel most popular female streamers. Rivers GG. Take a look at Rivers a second. Where is Rivers GG? Oh, FG GG. This person right here is. Oh, okay. Most watched female streamers. I don't know how to interpret this data. I feel like that was a little bit of a little, yeah, it might have been clickbait or something, but, or like a misrepresentation. Verdal 987, yeah. Iron Mouse. Where's that screenshot from? Rivers.g, yeah. Yeah, it's all rivers.gg. Where is that screenshot from? Interesting. Yeah, number 20 Steam charts. That's this right here. Might have been changed. Ben says trying to fix Mauga is impossible. It's totally possible. We fixed him. We fixed him last scraps. You know what we did? So, or like the ins and outs of what we did with that is we gave him knockback. With his regular, well, sorry, with his right click. His right click had knockback. He had no healing, so he still has his E. His E gives the team healing as they do damage, but he doesn't do any healing himself. So he has like no personal self-sustain. He does the overhealth thing, and then we halved his health to 250, and gave him 120% speed, movement speed. So he's a little bit more of a. The problem is he just melts tanks now. The only way to do it is you make him melted by tanks. Right? There's hard to explain. You have to balance for the time to kill. It really, all of it is time to kill. So if you're adding a feature or setting up some form, you want it so that the time to kill is pretty consistent across every single engagement. Like, as consistent as possible. You don't want to have instant engagements and like engagements that last for 10 minutes. You want to either have 10 minutes or you want to have instant. So if you're setting yourself up with the tanks, you want to make sure that you're balancing for that in particular. What is this? Asmongold finds out what his editor posted behind his back.
What's this?
What's this?
Editor on point as always. Oh, people were not happy about my perspective on the Amarath situation. They thought that I was giving her too much credibility. Watch the clip. Okay.
Oh shit!
It was at the end, right?
I do know the irony, guys, of a streamer reacting to a streamer, reacting to a streamer, reacting to his own stream, reacting to a streamer. So we're streamerception.
Contesting her husband being abusive. Logic is sound, but he's missing the bigger picture. People are not contesting her husband being abusive. They're contesting these clips in hindsight.
Reviewing his editor, which edits the stream.
I get to watch TV shows again. I'm just really excited to get back to the type of content in life that I want.
She accuses her husband of coercing her into cultivating a certain online audience.
What content I want to do? Animals. More IRL streams with friends and traveling and animals.
But the reality is that her streaming content reverted to its original state within a mere 3 months.
And I don't have to wear cleavage every day. I can wear clothes.
These
Plus,
editors
even Dolby is soft.
are so savage.
Dolby is free.
So savage.
This is it's just too much, man. So yeah, I think that we don't really know why it happened. So this is my perspective on it, is that there is a chance that she lied about everything. The husband is a paid actor and all of this stuff. I just don't know what's true, and I don't think anybody else does either. That was the only thing that I was contesting. The
truth is always some soft spot in between. It is both that when she's dealing with lawyers and public perception, you got to be extremely manipulative in one direction, right? But also, there's extreme manipulation in the other. So she could have easily been in an abusive relationship of some sort and have some abusive dynamic. But people usually put themselves in positions where they're most comfortable, even if it's an abusive situation. And that's something we have to recognize with ourselves. A lot of the times we'll put ourselves, everybody does this. You put yourself in a really bad situation, you try and justify that situation, and then someone does something wrong to you and you over justify doing wrong back to them.
That because people don't know what happened, it doesn't mean that they get to invent their own fan fiction of what they think happened. This is the reality, right? And so, like, for example, Amarath could have gone back to doing her older content because maybe her stream lost popularity whenever she wasn't doing that, and she thought that she would be comfortable with that, and then whenever it lost the popularity, she found out she wasn't, so then she went back to...
Because I hear over and over and over again that Amaranth is a businesswoman, right? Yes, she's doing sexually suggestive content in general, but she's doing it for, like, a business reason. Like, nobody, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a general rule. Nobody sits and does Twitch all day because Twitch is fun. Not a single person, okay? It is fun. Don't get me wrong. Doing streams is fun, but it is, like, mentally exhausting. So you have a choice. A lot of people have a choice. Either they go and get a job at Burger King, or they end up streaming. And Amaranth is very much one of those people where it's the mindset is like, I'm sitting around all day doing absolutely nothing. Why not just do nothing and get the most amount of money for it?
Doing the streams as she did before, right? That's logical. Also, I don't know, maybe her husband blackmailed her even more. He said he was going to kill her. He said he was going to kill himself, and she didn't want to deal with that, and so she's just going back to doing it to make him happy. Maybe she lied about the entire fucking thing, and this is all fake, and she's totally playing everybody by a fiddle. So there are probably a half dozen to a dozen outcomes that could be the reality, but we don't have enough information to know which one is the reality. And so I don't even think my editors are really wrong about this necessarily. Let's be honest, guys. It is textbook for abusive relationships to have massive outbursts like this, and then everything just goes completely back to normal. I've had it happen.
Welfare. We're talking about the moral behavior of your stream. And you as a person, you know, I know you've been single longer than I have.
Oh
you
my
haven't had
God.
it forever.
Yeah.
But my point is that, you know, it's bros before hoes, and she's the hoe, and I'm your bro. So, just think about that before next
bringing
time
up personal stuff
you,
is, like,
you just want to pull
brutal.
her in to your...
That is absolutely it. People do what they're comfortable with. Simple as that. And if they end up in an environment where they're comfortable doing X, they're gonna, even when things break down, they're gonna go back and do X. I think actually this is a good perspective too, because there's a previous video, like the editors were criticizing Asmin in the edit itself. Part of the hard part about being a streamer, about being a streamer is you have to say everything or else you get assumed that you're not actually saying anything. Even though, like, if I have one or two people even in stream, chat, talking with them, it's so easy for me to, like, misinterpret something, or it's also easy for me not to fully cover the range of stuff that normally you would on kind of a segment, whatever video you want. So I agree with Asmin. I agree with both. I think both the editor and Asmin in this are correct. All right. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna take a few quick bites of my sandwich. Hey, thank you over on D Live. Actually, thank you so much for the ice cream. How you doing? I'll call you Just or Sinner. I'll call you Just. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing today? We are doing some news reviews and reacts and the regular fun stuff. Digging through some Asmongold content at the moment. But welcome to the stream. If you do have anything that you'd like me to take a look at, you're definitely welcome. Throw a link in chat. I will do my best. I am I like to be the mediator of conversation in many many parts of news and information, because I feel like a lot of stuff is too weighted towards opinions as opposed to try to actually analyze the concepts, and so that's where we try and focus our stream on those kind of on that kind of information, figuring out what is true and what isn't true. So welcome in. And happy New Year's Day. Exactly. Happy New Year's Day. I probably should have something a little... I'm still new to streaming, so I'm still figuring out the whole process. Eventually we will have stuff that's a little bit more holiday or event related. We'll get there. We'll get there. Welcome in. Welcome in. I do have to get... D-Live should be appearing right up in the top there. It should be, but it's not. My D-Live chat. I don't know why, but it's just not. I'll have to figure that out at some point in time. So you are there, just so everybody else knows who's lurking in different chats. We do have the live viewer, but eventually we'll figure that out at some point here. Welcome in, welcome in. You love the Toon channel? Get live joiner. What's that live joiner? But yeah, I'm glad you like the cartoon channel. The cartoon channel is actually this machine right behind me, right here. I run the Tech Garage. I enjoy. It's a restreamer app. I want to avoid using. We'll take a look. Live joiner, live join, stream. Live join. And Vampire Frog is working on. Oh. In general, I'm not gonna add more applications to my PC or my setup. It's too multi-layered at the moment. I actually stream directly, like a lot of people with Restream. I stream directly to a lot of these channels. Take a look down the bottom there. Rather than using Restream, which is what most people use for the streaming setups. My goal is to make the most direct path from me to you. And so even a lot of, I'll point this out, a lot of what you see around my stream at the moment is actually like assets that I've built out There is documents. OBS. They're actually like HTML document setups that I'm not using like a third party. Like I still have some stuff for Stream Elements, like a Stream Elements overlay, but I try to avoid having it my information go out to a server first and come in. I'd like to be able to do it as direct as possible. You like it? You can pick your own voice for text-to-speech. Oh yeah, there's a lot of services out there like that. A lot of services, which reminds me, oh my god, Ben, I don't know why you're in chat. Why didn't you remind me?
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
The cavalry is here. Ben, why didn't you remind me? Thicker database, he forgot it. It's alright. It's alright. It's kind of my fault there. I gotta remember this stuff. I wish maybe there's a way to like boot it with OBS so I don't have to remember. And I wish. I don't think it has it for DLive. Give me a second, Ben. Sorry. We'll take a look and see if we have login details. Streaming platform. DLive. Add this platform. Platform login. Copy this URL. Okay. Maybe we can do this. You're waiting for something to happen? One sec. Continue. That's not... Why isn't it letting me paste this URL? There's no URL. It might be broken. Might be broken, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to ask Miss Candy Cane, who used to a lot here on DLive. But custom Lua. Add this platform. DLive. Platform login. Nothing. Nothing. Sorry, Just. They're like... This should, in theory, give us the fun little avatars icon. Uh-oh. Did I break something? Broke something. It should. I don't know why. Oh god, something crashed. Something's not working. Holy moly, my CPU kicking itself. Okay. Tell you, where are you? Avatar. I should do this from the very start. Do 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 do. Log in. Oh yeah, we gotta turn. YouTube connect. Angry Mouthy Freak, welcome in. How are you doing today? I was just trying to set up a little stream, guys, for DLive. Unfortunately, it's not working right now. I gotta figure that out. So you guys get to have your own little icons, your little dudes running around on screen. But we are over on YouTube and Twitch. You're 59. I'm 30. Welcome in. Everybody's gotta have their own little icon. Don't know, can't explain shit. Well, welcome in, dude. I appreciate the follow. How are you doing today? We're doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday news, reviews, internet show, whatever you want to call it, where we browse the internet, where we dig around. Why is my little icon dude is gone? Sulack streams. Oh, this is the YouTube one right now. The only reason you stream is Naro 2010 or 210 on DLive showed you setup. Awesome, man. I believe everybody should be streaming, right? The internet is not just websites. It's a data stream, right? The whole purpose of having your computer is the data stream. Let me just swap over to the big sweet default platform. Connect. Sorry, Twitch platform off YouTube. So I got my Twitch. There we go, my dude, my little dude there. But it's something everybody should be doing and participating in the internet age. It's probably the most human way of interacting with people on the internet, I think. But it's still something that everybody should be doing. As the internet gets faster and faster. Thanks for that, man. He's knocking my character around down below there. Yeah, I don't know. Good times overall. Let's go take a quick peek into Twitter. What's going on in the world of Twitter? You've been at DLive for 4 years. I've been DLive. Oh my god, why? Okay, maybe not Twitter. Okay, maybe not Twitter. There's too much skin. Jesus Christ. It's been getting worse literally over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I've been doing this. I've been running a little, show like this for a while. And, a few months ago, I could go on Twitter and not have to see anything. And now, wow. Wow, it's just, adult content all over the place. Crazy. Kick is also too fleshy. A lot of the sites are. As soon as they lose a lot of the base moderation, websites get a little bit freaky. Threads. We can go over to Threads. I don't think Threads is any better. I get more bots on Threads recently. Where... Oh, let me log in. I get more bots on Threads recently where it's like, hey, are you lonely? That must be why it's called X now. It's been turned into X is more like 4chan now. It's slowly getting before 4chan, which I'm semi-internet anarcho-capitalist mindset. I understand that, and I don't fully submit to that mindset, but it's all just content farming. Now we got Threads. What do we got in freaking Threads? See, look, I am single. Please call a boyfriend. Banjana comments your number. Ikaise leg rao riha. Okay, thank you. Hello, call me a number, dear. I don't even know these people. Happy New Year from North Korea. What the fuck is going on here? We got Barack Obama. Let's stay 1 sec. As the year winds down, we're reflecting on the work the Obama Foundation was able to inspire, empower, and connect the people around the world. In 2024, we're ready to build on that progress. This means continuing to build the Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago. It means welcoming more young change makers into our leaders program. And it means opening more doors for boys and girls through the My Brother's Keeper Alliance and Girls Opportunity Alliance. Is that a good Obama voice? Sorry, that was terrible.
I hope you and your loved ones are enjoying a happy, healthy, and joyful holiday season. As I reflect on the last year and look ahead to the next one, I am filled with gratitude for the support you've given to the Obama Foundation. Because of your generosity, because of your support, we closed out 2023 in a strong position, and we're ready to hit the ground running in 2024. That means continuing to build the Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago. It means welcoming more young change makers into our network. And it means opening more doors for boys and girls through the My Brother's Keeper and Girls Opportunity Alliance.
Yeah,
Your
Obama,
donations
I
help
can't
make all
pause
of this possible.
Let it run through.
I often say that nothing's more powerful than ordinary people coming together to push for change and bring us closer to our highest ideals. You're far from ordinary, but that's exactly what you and thousands of other Obama Foundation supporters have done. So, from the bottom of my heart, thanks again for helping us to inspire and empower and connect people around the world. Let's keep working to bring change home in 2024.
Obama's one of those weird presidents that was like, my main critique on him is that he saw the United States as a ship to be steered, and the United States is not a ship to be steered. Right? If anything, I'm gonna give him the positive. I'm Canadian, just so everybody knows. So my opinion doesn't mean fuck all here, right? I just have outsider perspective, or at least a little bit outsider perspective. What he wanted to do was, or what he wants to do, like with these kind of projects, is like they're always good. And if I'm gonna give him a credit for anything, Obama is a very positive speaker, right? He's a very motivational speaker for everything. Like which does, it comes off as a little deceptive quite a bit, especially too when you're overly positive about things that are not as cut and dry as the positive speaker comes out. So it's very culturally, he's very culturally a different type of person. But he's very good, like, I don't know. He's one of those, his speech is a quality that I would like to see, but not his action president. I think that's a better way of, that's the way that I like to look at it, okay? Like I go like, this man, it just sounds like you know what he's talking about and speaks very positive. But I don't know if what you're saying is like directly matching reality. But I'm not, again, I don't know the specifics of it, so don't roast me on that. I'll do my. It's just again, the United States isn't a ship to be steered. They don't, like, there's a difference. There's a big difference too between like the rest of the world and the United States. Because I always hear people are like, why doesn't the American government just like grab the Americans by the hand and like take them this way and go do this thing? And it's like, because that's not what America is. That's what the rest of the world is. That's why the rest of the world has kings and queens. You know, like not. You know, I'm not gonna get too much into it. I'll try not to. That's it. That's where I end. Next thread. And just you're a Canadian too. Why? Canadian represent. Our only culture is that we're not American. Everything else, we are American. Everything else, but that's our claim to fame. No, it's Ben says more towards these goddamn Canadians. I know, eh? Taylor Swift, oh my god. Go away, Taylor. You're a musician, not a politician. Don't be afraid of loneliness. Be strong for yourself. I am single. Please call boyfriend Ban Zhao Na comments your number because I love. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, you're Plains Cree. Oh, native. Is that what I'm reading? Correct? I mean as like sorry. Canada. There's no other way to put it. we have no culture right now. I see the criticisms, you know. I'm not yeah. Not to get too political. It's hard, man. Language, especially too when the culture on the world is so different. Get on the internet. Speaking relatively is very difficult. Canadians are just British and American. That's, yeah, so what we consider the governmental Canadian. Actually, the governmental Canadian, that's what I want to point out. I'm not, by the way, so I'm poor. Big little house. This isn't my place. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm not, but I still feel like I'm part of, I was raised in the schools, you know. So. Ben says, sorry, Canadians are just British and American. Yeah, that's what I mean, though, is like, but the thing is, you say it to a native, they'll get pretty pissed off. They're like, we're the real Canadians. And, you know, honestly, I'll be like, yeah, you guys kind of are. You're right. Yeah. Which is sad. White is not a culture. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. It's a, it's not that, we'll identify with it. It's this, like, it's a categorization that linguistically is easy to understand. That's the big thing. Linguistically, it's easy. Like, you can talk about it, but it doesn't really mean anything. There's like Irish Canadian, British Canadian, there's French Canadian, there's man, you love New Blood? It's a weird world. Nothing's as simple anymore as like, oh, where are you from? I'm from this place. I'm this person. Right? Hell, the French do. Well, the French do, yes. Yeah. It's hard relatively too, because I know there's like even there, I'm from BC, okay? I'm from British Columbia. The difference between like people in Vancouver, BC versus the people in over on the island, or, you know, people in northern BC, totally different people. Totally different people. Quebec is like its own country. It is so weird, man. You start driving in there, it's like French stuff everywhere, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? Oh, Ben, too. A lot of Canadians are actually American. Okay? A huge portion of them came through the United States. A huge portion. Just says you have lots of family in Van. It's getting rough. Vancouver's kind of, it's becoming it's a port city. So there's never one culture or never one thing at any point in time. Everything's churning, everything's changing all the time. Yeah, see, look, this is all Threads is now. It's like, there's a few wholesome posts, but maybe it's because I don't follow anything. Ben says a lot of royalists from the revolution moved to Canada. Yeah, huge. Mostly comedians and actors. Yes. We're an entertaining people. What do I gotta say, right? When you got nothing but a hut, snow, and a fireplace, you gotta be entertaining. You gotta, right? Oh, my nose is itchy. Hold on. I stole Norm McDonald. This is such a silly art. Oh, look, there's a bucket of sand. Sand is coming up from the bottom. Thanks for that attack, Ben. Wow, guys, we just experienced art. Fuck that. My notification. Oh, no, yeah, Kai pasa, please, koi boyfriend. Do. Following you. Oh. Yeah, this sucks. Why is this a... Okay, I'm done. Twitter was great. Twitter was so great for the time that I got to use it. And now it's something a little different. Something better. Just says Banksy was better with the 14 billion sale and shred. Oh yeah, the painting that they shred. That was so funny. That was absolutely hilarious. Played a dead Overwatch that they played. Oh. Gold responding. What can we go take a look at tonight? It's 4:06 right now for me. Well, we just read an article just talking about how the internet is becoming and slowly a lot of skin. Or what's going on here? How the internet is becoming how the internet has become very corporate, and how there's smaller circles of communities slowly creating themselves inside these inside and around these big services. Well, that's us. This is my example of that right here. Hopefully I can build a smaller community of people that love content, love creation, love video, love the internet in general. We can do stuff that's not all attached to these big companies. It's just my hope there. I want to take a quick peek on the Discord. What is going on over on the Discord? Let's take a wee little peeky. Bunch of Happy New Year's from the nerds. And gamer content. That's old chat. We've seen all this. Screenshots. That's my stuff. Dippy's been on a little bit. I gave him a whole bunch of stuff. We got people in and out of the Greco server. Or Peachy. Trying to get our laptop working. Got Montequila. Alright. What is this? Hold on. Someone just messaged me. Oh, Ben, you messaged me. Oh, that's through the Oh, I see. Okay, that's through the Scraps chat that we had with Bucket. Channel 78, welcome in. How are you doing today? Welcome. I need a name for this stream, but for now we're just gonna call it Sulack Streams because I'm Sulack and this is my stream. We are doing all sorts of news, reviews, reacts. I'm an internet dude, and I know a lot of you guys are internet people, so I'd love to be able to go through the internet, share my experiences, share what we're going through, all sorts of things as we go. So welcome in, my friend. Sulack's interests. Sulack Streams for now is totally fine. We'll have a segment name for it at some point in time. Today we're doing really chill though. Normally I'll do news reads right in the morning and go do YouTube video, but we're figuring out the format slowly but surely. So welcome in Channel 78. And I need to get D-Live's chat up there. One thing I do want to bring in, guys, I want to try around D-Live is not to get so political all the time. I don't mind doing politically adjacent things, but there's so much political talk on D-Live. Mostly because it's an open website where they don't have that much moderation, and so stuff that doesn't get said on other websites gets said there, which it's true. I'm a kind of free speech person, so I'm totally fine with that. But I don't want all that content there. I love D-Live. It's kind of my home for the cartoon streams. That's where I grew my first small online community. But I want it to stop being so. I don't know what it is. It's a very rough website right now. So welcome in, guys, from D-Live. Appreciate you. Just says very much so. You love it, but you can. Hey, I appreciate it. Hopefully this helps out too. Yeah, there's a lot of anger. There's on the smaller websites. There's a lot of anger on the small sites. I do, there are a lot of things that larger websites like Twitch quite justifiably, justifiably unjust enact actions on people. But of course, there's a time and a place for everything. So being meticulous with when and where certain content and certain stuff comes up is really important. Is really, really important too for the context of that information. Welcome in, D-Livers. Just says, to be fair, it's a place where you can vent at least. Oh yeah, absolutely. But you don't want that to be the focus of it, right? Like, let's say you have good content. I paint? Good content. Venting. Okay. Quality documentaries up at the top. Okay, so average content. The problem is, I know the climate. The very problem is when this curve moves down this way and then this becomes the norm. This is what happened on D-Live for a while. Okay? And it just became garbage. It was all just garbage. I understand there's a lot of anger. I understand there's a lot of places to vent and pull out information. But when you tried to be specific about anything, when I tried to at least, move the conversations more towards curated information and not curated in terms of I don't like this so it's not here, but in terms of here's how you structure a sentence, here's how you structure an argument, here's how you structure your content so that you can clearly get your information out. People were like, fuck you, I'm gonna go back to venting. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Even the mods, the actual like of the entire website, whenever I had conversations with them, it was there's a lot of circle talk. Exactly, that's it. Like inside the moderators that ran the website, it was all this weird, stupid circle talk. And every time I tried to have a conversation where I'm like, okay, so what's the fact? What's the source? What's the argument? What are the supporting arguments? What are the, like, I tried to break this down with any of them. Nothing. But it is because it became this culture. There are not any mods anymore. I'm not gonna argue with, but it's like the Overton window had shifted to the average conversation being about like this emotional rant as opposed to being like, and I'm general about it. I'll be totally straightforward with it. Like, there's a lot of Jew hate on D-Live, absolutely, tons of it. And don't tell me here in my stream, I'm not here political stream to give you your opinion, but I don't find, when I tried to have conversations that were a little bit more about broadening the perspective, I'm like, okay, so what particular aspects of those things don't you like? Like, what particular thing don't you like about it? There's no detail. It's like and I know there will be some people that do, but it's, I just, yeah, not to rant too much over all the D-Live stuff, but that's where the window had shifted. I'm fine with conversation that's hard and angry, but I'm not fine with conversation that is really low quality and not referential and does not source anything and not directed and doesn't have a specific X, Y, and Z in terms of in terms of the argument, in terms of the properties of the argument. The vast majority of people, sorry, I'm getting heated about this, but the vast majority of people on D-Live and even too on sites like Kick, on terms of other smaller sites, smaller streaming sites, even quite a bit on Twitch, but quite a bit on Twitch is this window. Most of the Twitch stuff sits about right here. I know there's no like numbers to like go with it. But I would, if I was like a teacher, I would fail so many fucking people. I would go, you fail. If I'm grading your emails, I fail every one of your emails. If I'm grading, I just fail. I don't care whether it's right or wrong. You just are in a shitty argument. I don't care about the conclusion. I care about the argument. Anyways, so that's my little rant on D-Live, because I know you guys are watching over there right now. Welcome in. I hope this is a place that's not all about that stuff. And we can talk about cool things on the internet, like like media, like entertainment news, like video games, like technology, all that kind of stuff. I'd love to focus on that here and now. Ben says being right does not matter if you can't support it. Exactly. And the problem is too, Ben, most people, you will learn this, and you'll learn this too from personal experience. When you have an opinion and the opinion gets challenged, you really got to internalize, what am I actually answering? And then you realize there's not a single mechanism inside your brain. There's not a single mechanism inside your brain that actually verifies information for you. None. That's just where do you get the facts? And then you dig and you dig and you dig and you realize, oh. I'm not actually. So then you look around, you're like, where's everybody else sourcing this information from? Then you realize nobody else has real sources. They have impressions. They have real big impressions. And you look around, there's a group of 1,000 people, and 2 people, 2 of them walk up to you with sources. 2 people walk out the group. And then you realize, you're like, oh shit, it's not because these 2 people are fact-seeking people. Everybody else in the group has the equal opportunity to walk up to me with new facts. But those people were in that very specific part at that specific time that they just so happened to be the 2 people with the correct information. Where everybody else is just emotionally responding to things. And then if you ask a different question, it'll be 2 different people. Those people that just came up to you with the correct information, they'll be totally wrong. They'll respond in the emotional way. And you're like, what the I thought you guys were the logical people. And you look over and you look at, okay, you're the logical people now? And then you ask another question, and 2 more people come up, and the other 2 people, they give you the wrong information. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Because we're people. Because, like, human brains, human bodies, we don't have the mechanics in us to fact check. So, how do you make yourself feel smarter than everybody else? The Buddhists, they call it attachment. Stop being so attached. And you're still biased. You're still gonna be biased. But it's that attachment. And there's so many things that I'm wrong about. I know this. So, just says I'm a dumbass. Round of applause. I always appreciate that conversation. You can acknowledge we're all dumbasses. We're all just creatures with clothing on, you know? It's an interesting world. It's a very interesting world. But it really, like, you always have to be more and more and more critical about it. And it's the people who are not critical that you really got to be scared of. I am exceptionally frightened when I see a 20-something-year-old on any streaming platform going, these people are evil, we need to do this, because I'm 30 and I have no fucking idea how they got that information. I have no idea. Just says because I won't let anyone tell me how to think. I'll let people tell me how to think. I will tell me what to think. Sorry if I'm being pedantic. I'm not trying to be pedantic on you here. I'm totally fine with people going, this is the process of thinking. Because then now what I can do is I can compartmentalize it, and that's a different process than my other process. I don't have to take the path that they're taking to think, but if I know that path, I'm okay. It's like a new bit of information. But it's when someone goes, this is what you need to think about it. I'm like, what the fuck are you? Please tell me first how to think. Tell me how you got to that conclusion. Align me with that. And then define whether or not what you're saying is what matters. Because if you start telling me how to think, and then you say I have to think of it that way, now you're telling me what to think. And then I'm not going to do that. You're like, tell me how, but don't tell me what. Just says we should already know how to think. I don't think so. What decree of nature says that we should know how to think? It sounds culty. I understand. I understand the assumption behind it. But I'm going to challenge it. I'm just challenging it. Challenging that statement. I'm a very challenging statement person. I have a small gaming community, but they know I challenge people all the time. So don't take it personally. As I really want to challenge that. What mechanism says that we should already know what to think? Or how to think. Sorry, not what to think. Katana 1988, Happy New Year's. How are you doing? Welcome over on Twitch. We're getting a little deep. We're getting a little cerebral right now, talking about the philosophy of what it means to know and enjoy things, understand things. We do have somebody over on some of our other channels here. Cause and effect. If I do this, it will happen. I understand that. I just don't believe we're supposed to know. I believe it works. It's the learning curve of life. We should learn how to learn. But also, to me, I know some very mentally disabled people. Right? And they'll never know. They just don't have the function to understand anything deeper than eat, sleep, and poop. Do some basic work. So it's a philosophical question to answer. It's a philosophical question into, but I don't think we have tools. I think we have stuff that works really well, and we continue doing things that work. And we get challenged, and we have mechanisms that tell us when we need to change what we're doing. But we can apply this to ourselves, but if we look at the other people in the world, if we look at other people that have done crazy, wrong, bad things, they didn't have the mechanisms, right? So I need to attribute those who have done a lot of wrong things, with myself who've done a few wrong things. Everybody's done wrong things, right? Looking inwards, I feel like there should be mechanisms that make me understand things deeper, that make me that make me seek for truth. But when you look around you, and then use that to reflect upon my own action, or I look around me and I use that to reflect upon my own, I realize there is no mechanism. Like, it just works. Sometimes stuff works, sometimes stuff doesn't. And the stuff that doesn't work, those guys are dead. The people where things didn't work, they're dead. They're actually dead. Right? So, and I'm just lucky that I'm alive, that all the mechanisms aligned, that somehow my genes made it through a world war or something. It's hard to say. You can't treat the developmentally delayed the same. No, but sorry, I'm not saying it's the same, I'm saying what mechanisms require that we understand things. Right? What mechanisms specifically? Because we can know mathematical mechanisms, but we know the brain doesn't work off of math. There's no verification. There's a social verification at the very end of that. Right? You may know that you wake up every day, you go to work, you come home, pay rent, rinse and repeat. But it's all relative observation. If you grew up in the middle of the collapse of the Soviet Union, what do you say is right? Right? Like, if I'm equivalent to everybody else, and there's so many failures everywhere else, something like the pattern. I think if you keep following that path, the path of questioning all the way back. Sorry guys, over on the rest of the channels, you guys can't see. I'm trying to read out somebody who's on on DLive, who I don't have their chat up here. But yeah, it's how are you actually able to construct? You only construct them socially. You can only really construct these and through responses in your own life. But the people who actually fail, right? There's no rule that says you should win, because there's other people that lose. But there are other people that lose. Like, really, you wake up with a brain. Freedom is over. Again, I feel like that's a very internal, external perspective, right? What mechanism says that you require right now to be somebody who's like there's no right. There's no right to that in the universe. The vast majority of living things ever will never understand anything. So. But how do you know you understand? Ooh. I recently watched an excellent show called Pantheon. Go take a look at it. Inception is a very interesting. All right. Speaking of public domain cartoons, which I know are kind of side topic.
Hello, guys and gals.
Mickey
Me,
Mouse is
Mood
finally free.
2024.
Hold on. All right. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Oh, I realize. Guys, that's why it's broken. That's why it's broken. Not broken. It's selecting the wrong chat. It's showing me the cartoon stream chat. I'm a dum-dum. I'm a real dum-dum. How's it going, High Five? Welcome in. Just over on DLive, I know it's really hard to communicate through text sometimes, especially when we're talking about really complex subjects. So, welcome in, High Five. I realize I gotta go turn that off then. I'm very good. We've been talking about some deep philosophical questions. Just says I must have a nice PC. Do you want to see my PC specs? And happy New Year, High Five. How did you celebrate the New Year, High Five? How did you go? Did you go out and party? What did you guys do? So just, not only do I have a good PC here, I've got myself a RTX 4080, i7 9700. We actually have this server right here is also my baby, where we host a variety of different video game servers like Minecraft and Eco and a variety of different stuff. Ben says you wanted the DLive not logged in. The first thing you saw was the cartoon channel. Woo! We are back! We are back, baby! I'm so glad that's back. I'm so glad DLive is a thing again. It's great. It is absolutely great. Oh, I gotta close. You hear the neighbors chat. Yeah, DLive's interesting. Some moderation. Kind of like I said, there's a lot of anger on that site too, because a lot of people that get pushed off other sites end up on DLive. But I5 says you had a family at your house. What do you guys have for dinner? Do you have the big actual dinners? I think a plant or something is on my nose to itch. Just says for someone unpolitical, you're kind of first. You were kind of first on the block. Weird. Yeah. I just love technology. High Five, you'll be back soon. That's all right. No worries. No worries. I'm a tech guy. I really love technology. I love moral technology. I love technology that stretches the boundaries of what you can do with it. And DLive was one of the only platforms that allowed me to run like a channel. Other platforms have a lot of issues about not copyright. Copyright wasn't the issue. It's about running 24/7 channels without me being physically here. Right? That's where a lot of the rules where that comes into play. So I picked DLive because of specifically because I could run a 24/7 Toon channel, and also because of the way it does currency. The ability for everybody to donate and for me to give my ad revenue to viewers was the reason why I picked DLive to put the cartoon, to focus specifically on building the cartoon channel. And it's a mixture of like freedom in a way, where public domain is an expression of freedom from the public, right? It's the ability to go in and share stuff that the community loved because it's now in the public domain. And I also picked the platform where I found that sharing was kind of one of the biggest focuses. So that's why the cartoon stream, that's why our cartoon stream is specifically focused off of DLive. I'm sure I could fight a lot harder and get this going on other, but or other websites, no problem. But I love it here. Lemons are a perk, even though people love and hate them. Yeah, ups and downs. Wait, what the heck just happened? Wait, what the heck just happened? The heck? My other stream up? My other stream's still up. We're good. Very weird. We're back. I think my whole stream just died. Okay, we're back. We're good. I think we're okay here. Do. Make sure that my Twitch is running. Are we good? Twitch, you're live? Are live. Okay, we are still here. All right, let's take a look at what Mudahar says. Oh, Mickey Mouse, public domain.
Tells me Mudahar, and whoo, 2024.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I'll do a little intro piece, so just for the YouTube channel. Just if you haven't checked it out too, if you go to YouTube, look up Sulack Streams. That is my YouTube channel. Check it out there. A lot of these videos end up going up on the YouTube channel. So, it looks like Mickey Mouse is free in the public domain, at least. I'm not sure right now. I do have a cartoon stream that will be adding these Mouse to at some point when I figure out a nice download, the highest quality download possible for them. But let's take a look and see what Mudahar, some ordinary gamer, has to say about it.
Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and whoo! 2024 has begun, and you know what January 1st, 2024 means? A really special day in particular. It is the day when Mickey Mouse, yeah, remember that mouse? The most important mouse in the world? The mouse that is behind one of the biggest media empires in the world, Disney? Yeah, the earliest version of this little twink mouse is finally free from copyright law. And what do I mean by that? Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at Steamboat Willie. You see that Mickey over there? That Mickey.
I do want to point out too, there were a few other Mickey Mouse cartoons that were in the public domain because they were taxpayer funded. There was also some public ones, I can't remember the names of them, that were done for Christmas, events. I believe they were also public domain. Just says, is he Canadian? Yes, Mudahar actually is Canadian.
Ladies and gentlemen, is finally in the public domain. Yeah, so much time has passed since this actual production was made that Mickey Mouse, at least this first iteration of it, is finally free. Now, you might remember a while back when, like, you know, Winnie the Pooh entered the sort of, like, copyright-free territory, and there was a really, really, really shitty movie that was made because of it. You may remember the movie Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And Blood and Honey wasn't exactly a great movie. It's a slasher movie that came out literally last year. The sequel is supposed to come out next month, apparently, this year. And the first version of it was a boring slasher. The whole premise was the Thousand Acre Woods had some of the most corrupted versions of our old friend Winnie. And that's pretty much how the story went. Wasn't exactly a great slasher movie. Wasn't actually a great movie anyways. And if it sounds like I'm pissed, that's because I wasted my time, my wife's time, my friends' times watching this movie.
I'm glad I didn't watch it. I saw it come out. I saw some clips from it, and I'm like, this is basically going to be like a D-tier slasher movie.
Now, there's other versions of Mickey Mouse that are free. This is plain crazy, and of course, Mickey is just mad that he has to be in public domain. Papa Walt isn't going to be too proud about this one, is he? So, of course, yeah, there are two cartoons, two of them silent, one of them with sound, that are now entering public domain. And you might be wondering, whoa, can I do anything with them right now? And the reality is, it's very complicated, okay? So we're going to actually look through a couple laws. Now, public domain, for anybody that wonders what public domain necessarily is, this is January 1st, and of course, these are all the pieces of media that have finally entered the public domain. So obviously, Steamboat Willie is the center of that, but you've got some Charlie Chaplin over there, you've got some Dark Princess, you've got Millions of Cats. This is not the only thing that's in.
So, something just to note with the public domain content is that you can use the video itself, but the likeness of the character is the issue. So you can maintain the rights to the likeness of the character, which is the visual look of Mickey Mouse. And I imagine too that there's going to be like specific looks within Mickey Mouse, how he has his suspenders, how he has his gloves, how he has all those kind of things that you can use in some contexts, but you can't use in other contexts. I imagine we just saw that there's going to be a Mickey Mouse like horror video game thing coming out. That is probably going to be using the likeness of old Mickey Mouse in these cartoons. Whereas you wouldn't be able to use a modern looking Mickey Mouse. Just says Five Nights at Freddy's pulled it off nicely though. Oh yeah, the whole horror style. Yeah, this is a big old classic fun child-friendly things, and then making them very scary is a trope that really is being pulled off in the last 5 or 6 years, to a large extent.
Entirely available, and this is of course published by the, I believe, Duke University. So yeah, this is the Duke University like Center for the Study of Public Domain. So yeah, on January 1st, 2024, thousands of copyrighted works from 1928, where Steamboat Willie ended up coming from, will enter the U.S. public domain. Along with sound recordings from 1923, they will all be free to copy, share, and build upon. This year's highlighting, again, ladies and gentlemen, obviously Mickey Mouse and a whole bunch of other very popular tracks. These are just a handful of works that will be in the US public domain in 2024. They were first set to go in public domain after a 56-year term in 1980.
Oh, Ben says in chat, you can use gloved no color, what? Gloved no color next year. Oh yeah, I was so sorry. You can use the gloved version with black and white imagery next year. Start to add color in. You're gonna be much closer to the modern usage of the like
2004. They were then supposed to go into public domain in 2004, but after being copyrighted for 75 years. But before this could happen, Congress hit another 20-year pause button and extended their copyright term to 95.
In 11 years, we can add color.
years. And now the wait is finally over. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, almost 100 years later, we finally get to fuck around with old Mickey. And literally, we only do get to mess around with old Mickey. See, this is Mickey from like 95 years ago. If you decide to use Mickey Mouse from a year ago, you're going into a court battle with Disney, and it's going to be very costly for you and minuscule for them. So don't even think of trying that. But it's kind of impressive how like the most like like iconic character from Disney is at least an iteration of him. The first one is at least copyright free. You know, Mickey Mouse is so important. The moment you step into Disneyland in like Los Angeles, the first thing you see is old Walt standing there with Mickey Mouse, pretty much frozen in carbonite, looking at you walking down.
It's gonna be as specific as like how many buttons are on the back of his gloves, how many buttons are down the front, how like far apart his eyes are, how the loop on his eyes manages to like looks at you, even the animations, how the character moves. Those are the things that are still going to remain copywritten. But as I want to point this out too, just for our cartoon stream fans, there's a reason why when I have the cartoon stream, I have like exactly the cartoon that I have downloaded as the video. I know you can reuse it and build it out as some other form of content, but I want to have the original content because that's what's protected under law, is showing the original content, right? At its core, at its absolute core. Now, that right then allows you to pull the content apart and create your own stuff from it, but at the well, my stream just cut out for like. This is gonna start. I think, guys. I think everybody, we have to end it here. Because this is gonna get worse. Throughout the night, as time goes on. I have to kill the stream. Sorry, guys. If you can see me at all, thanks for coming out. I'm getting thing cutting. It's gonna get worse and worse. I'll see you later. Have a great one. We'll be up again on Wednesday. Wednesday. Tomorrow we're taking a small break day, and then on Wednesday we'll be back up again and do another day of streaming. So thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate y'all. See you later.